Yesterday I went to see A Quiet Place Day 1, and although I've seen the movie in German, it wasn't really gonna make any difference if I were to see it in English or any other language because there is hardly any lines in the movie, which makes sense. It's a quiet place movie. And I'm not saying that like I've seen the previous movies because I haven't, but only because I understood the concept of the movie pretty early on. So in this film, you get to see the first day, how it all went down, you can say, I guess, in the A Quiet Place universe. Like I said, I haven't seen the previous movies of this franchise. I don't know anything about the story. The friend I went to the cinema with have seen the previous movies, so he kind of explained me what was going on, but it was already apparent at the first minute, so I guess you can just go to the film and it's alright. Maybe knowing the previous movies would add some, flair to it, but overall it was pretty enjoyable without knowing about the first films. So one of the best things I really liked about this film is the cinematography. It was really appealing to me. I really like very how to put this. So there are some movies with the focus point being in the middle of the image, you can say, I guess. Like it is if you were to see me from how you're seeing me in this camera. It's like this, coming like this. But in this film, what I really liked, I liked the other way too, by the way, but in this film, it was more like you're not seeing the image like this, but like this. If you get what I mean, I think it is pretty apparent in the movie, this, directional decision. At least I've seen it, but I may be delusional as well. So I don't know. So yeah, I really like that. There are some frames that while watching the film, called 3D frames. It's not like just seeing from another frame. That can be like a house's window, like you see what's going on in the movie before a house's window, something like that. But in this one, the frames were 3D as well, which I mean, like, you don't see it like this, but like this, if you get what I mean by that. So I really like that as well. I think the whole being quiet thing is pretty interesting. I really like the concept. It's pretty understandable as well. Within the first 10 minutes of the movie, if I'm not mistaken, you understand what's going on. And I think that's cool. I think they did a good job of demonstrating what the threat is in this world. And the movie theater was very silent as well. It was quiet when the movie was quiet. Of course, no one was talking and all, but I mean, like, no one was even gasping or, eating popcorn besides us with my friend. I don't know if this is because I'm paranoid or something, but every time a quiet scene came, I was like, halt, I was stopped. I was just watching the film because I'm not really good with horror films as well. I tend to get scared a lot and pretty easily as well. So I don't really watch horror films. I don't really enjoy that. But today I wanted to, watch a horror film with my friend in the cinema. I thought it could be fun. It was fun, but we'll get to there in a second. So I wasn't really able to, munch that popcorn. So I was like, watching the film, but at the same time, I'm afraid if I get scared, that may stuck in my throat, the popcorn. So I'm like, what the fuck do I do now? And like the scene never ends and all. I was like, oh my god, what do we do? But in the end, I was like, well, I'd like to live, so I munched that. So I'm sorry to everyone in the cinema that heard my 5 decibel munching. But yeah, if we talk about the scares of the film, so like I said, I think I am someone that is really not good with horror films. Like I said, I get scared. And so for the most part, I don't really choose to watch horror films. But yesterday, like I said, we wanted to go to a horror film and ask the person in the counter, like, can you recommend us something? Like, we've seen the titles, the horror title as well, but we would like to get a recommendation. So he recommended us the A Quiet Place. Um, but I think this movie, although I googled it as well, and they say it's a horror movie, I don't really know. I don't really think so. Or I got pretty good at horror films, I don't know. But I would say this movie is more of a thriller at best. Um, I really compared it to Bird Box when watching it. It really reminded me of the Bird Box. Like, it's a similar type of, a journey, I would say. They're trying to get from point A to B, and there are monsters and all. So yeah, I would say suspense, thriller, but not horror. Maybe this is a kind of horror, but I wasn't really scared. Other than one scene where it was like I was more shocked than scared, I would say. But it was it was definitely a shock. Um, you know, the movie is tense, by the way. There are some scenes that are tense, but overall, I really wouldn't count this as a horror experience. I really wanted to get scared that day because, like, I'm beginning to believe I'm actually able to watch horror films, but there will be a horror film that will, just wreck me. Because when I think about a horror movie, I think of, I don't know, something like Us, I would say. Us was a fun film, in my opinion. I really liked Us when I first seen it. I don't want to, give you a boggle number, but I think I've seen Us in 2020, if I'm not mistaken. Um, I think Us is a pretty good horror film, or a tense film, a thriller film. I don't know, but I really like that kind of films when it comes to horror. But like a true horror film, I can't really give you an example because I haven't seen many horror films. Um, so yeah, what the fuck? I'm not the judge when it comes to horror films, but like I said, as a chicken, I really didn't get scared in this film. So if we get to the monsters, I think the monsters are really interesting. We really don't get to see them fully up until a time in the movie. We really get just snippets. And I don't want to have any spoilers, but basically the monsters are really fast. Um, they move really fast as well, and so that's basically the thing about the monsters. They react to sounds, to the noise, and they are very fast, and they are pretty interesting in design as well. There were some scenes that I've said like, what the fuck, there are many more sounds here, but they just, gasped or breath, and all the monsters are coming now. And some scenes where the monster is literally in front of the guy, and at that point you would hear the guy's heartbeat, something like that. So how does it work? I really didn't understand, but I may be dumb, so yeah, that's not really a point I'm trying to make or anything. And if we get to the best part of the film, the cat. Now, the cat really is the best part of this film. I really love the cat so much. Like, oh my god. The cat's name is Frodo, and oh man, he is the coldest cat in the universe. Like, he doesn't care a bit. Like, if you're thinking about going to this film, go. You're gonna love it. There's a cat, and he's so adorable. And I think he really makes this film a really good one. I actually gave a plus point because of the cat. So the main character has a cat in the film, And like I said, he's so chill. Um, he doesn't care about anything that is happening in the film. There is only one scene where he looks remotely, not at ease, and like that's it. Other than that, he's just chilling, and that's so cool. Maybe that's why I wasn't really getting scared. I really love that aspect. I'm not kidding. He doesn't care about the aliens. He doesn't care about the apocalypse. He sometimes cares about the food he is getting, but yeah, remotely. And he doesn't even care about anyone, basically. Like, he fucks off to places, no questions asked, no prompt. He just goes and then comes back. So chill. Adorable. Such clever cat. And the cat, like I said, doesn't care about the monsters at all. Like, he's so chill. Like, I'm not kidding. He's the best character in the film. Such a professional. All the adults are like crying and like, are scared and all. And he's so chill, just vibing. Yeah, pretty cool cat. So yeah, overall, A Quiet Place was a lot of fun. A very interesting film. It didn't ended up being a very special movie for me. It's definitely one of the interesting movies I've seen this year, but I wouldn't really, give it a 10 stars or anything. I think it's an 8 for me. After watching the film, I had the feeling of a 7, but because of the cats and visuals and the stuff I've just talked about, I wanted to give an extra point. So my point is 8, if that makes anything. So yeah, overall, pretty fun movie to watch. I think we will go to see Long Legs as well. I've seen the trailer. My friend said like we gotta go to that, and today I just learned it's very popular, and they say like it's the best horror movie of all time. You're not gonna be able to watch anything else after this one. It's gonna traumatize you. And I was like, hell yeah, baby, my first horror film, and it's gonna be fucking amazing. uh, so yeah, I think it will be interesting. I don't know what kind of horror is awaiting us. I've seen the trailer. It looks interesting. So yeah, we'll see. But other than that, that's really about it. And yeah, see ya.